Now then, welcome back for some more tattoo reviews. Today I'm going to be looking at iconic tattoos in films. So let's get started. First up, we're going to start with this guy. This is Robert De Niro in Cape Fear. I actually really like this film and I forget about it a lot. I should definitely watch it a lot more because it's really cool. If you haven't seen it, definitely go and check it out. But on this, it's very much a case of he's got these little patchwork tattoos that, you know, I think it's sort of meant to imply by what he's got going on that it's like different parts of his life, you know, like this is a classic thing that people do when they get these little like patchwork ones. It's like they're more inclined to get tattoos that mean something rather than just like random cool things, you know, broken heart over the heart, whatever this is. I'm not sure what it is, but I think the main thing on this film is they're meant to have that intimidation factor. And he's also got this on his back, which is just ominous, isn't it? Truth and justice. It's, you know, every tattoo he's got in this film, it's all just adds to his overall image of him being like a really creepy, unhinged person, especially so with this back piece. You don't get something like this unless, you know, you've got some fucking problems, really. Truth and justice and a big cross, you know. And then it's this classic thing that they do in films where someone's got like a big back tattoo like that and they kind of, you know, they always take the top off and they're always like super jacked and they like roll the shoulders a bit, you know, give it like a big reveal. But, you know, it's kind of implying that he's some kind of fanatic. In terms of like how well they're done and stuff, you know, the answer would be not very. They're just typical, you know, he got these while he was traveling or in the military or something like that. And that's the kind of vibe I get. They all look cool as a whole, and I do like the vibe, but as individual tattoos, they're not very well done. But, you know, sometimes looking cool is the main thing. You know, like, I don't know if that's just the image, but look how wobbly these lines are. And yeah, someone, you know, has this been done in prison? Probably. I think that might actually be addressed in the film anyway. But yeah, I do like it regardless. It's a cool tattoo. It's just super ominous, and, you know, I'm not really big on getting a big bloody cross on tattooed on you anyway, because you know, it's a bit weird, isn't it? But whoever designed them for the film has absolutely nailed the style and the vibe, because they do very much look like real tattoos that this guy would have, or that someone like this would have. So I have to commend them on that. But yeah, let's move on. Next up, we have this. So this is the main character from The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, the book and the film. Obviously, this is the film version. This is a super iconic tattoo to the point that is literally the name of the series. In terms of a tattoo, I think it's like, you know, I'm not going to comment on like how good the film is and stuff, because I've seen the first one, but I can't really remember it too well, unfortunately. But in terms of a tattoo, this is great, really. I really like it. The way it sort of flows down from the shoulder blade looks really cool. I think maybe normally I'd not orientated the other way entirely, but I think maybe if I was doing it, I'd almost flip it so that the wing over here came onto the arm over there like that, and then this part of the body had come around there. I think that's the only change I'd make, is that I'd orientate it the other way around and have the wing over here. But saying that, sometimes a strangely orientated tattoo is what makes it an iconic tattoo, and it might not be as iconic if it had been orientated the other direction. It's hard to see how well done it is. I think I'm looking at yeah, I've got two different images of, one must be from the original and one must be from the remake, because these are two different tattoos. Very similar, but different. I don't know which one I prefer. I think the shape of this, let's have a look. The shape, I think I like the shape of this one better, but maybe the style of this one better. That's just a personal preference, though. It's nothing to do with how well done they are. In general, I'd say they're both pretty well tattooed as far as I can see. It's hard to see on such a shit image. I couldn't really find a better image of it, really, to be honest, which is annoying. This one's quite good. It looks like it's that almost black metal style, high contrast, like loads of skin tone, loads of solid black, no mid-tones or shading really. They're both kind of like that. I really like it. Obviously, so many people get this tattooed, or a variation of it, because it's super iconic. If you are going to get a tattoo off a film or something, I'd always ask the artist to do their own interpretation of it. Otherwise, there's just a legion of people that have the same exact tattoo in the same place, and everyone knows what it is, and it's like you become part of a club where you're all matching. But if you get the artist's interpretation, at least they're going to do their own, do their own thing with it, and you'll have a unique version of a common tattoo. In general, though, I really like this. It's one of the better ones for sure. I won't spend too long on this next one because it's quite similar to one that we've just looked at, but this is John Wick. It's got a similar sort of vibe to Robert De Niro's character on Cape Fear, but this is iconic. It's that same classic camera shot of dude has a back tattoo and rolls his shoulders because he's in shape. It's like an overused thing in films, isn't it? I don't know what these are. It's like a burning something and a little howling wolf. That I hate this so much. Just this almost. It's just a replica of so many wolf tattoos that you see on realism sleeves. Like it'll be like someone would get like this and like a moon and like probably like a Native American or a fucking eagle or something, and it's it's like some white dude from the northeast of England just having this terrible sleeve of tattoos, and it's always got a wolf like that in it, so I don't like it. I feel like it's facing the wrong way as well. Maybe, who cares with this one. I don't know what this means, but it looks cool, so you can have that. I don't like this. I get what they're going for, but it's not very cool, like praying hands and like a cross. It's not like ominous like the Robert De Niro one was, where you're like, oh god, what did it have? It was like truth and justice on it or something. And obviously this has that effect with the writing, but I think this tattoo in the center lets it down from being like super cool, because it's kind of just a bit lame really. So many people get these hands tattooed on them, and I'm just not a big fan of like overly Christian religious imagery, to be honest. Which you might be thinking, haven't you got a crown of thorns tattooed on your head? To which I would have to reply, yes, I have. But I haven't done that in like a religious way. I've done it more in like a blasphemous way, like I don't fucking like Jesus kind of way, to be honest. So, and if you're going to talk to someone, listen to someone, about religious imagery, tattoos, who better than someone with a crown of thorns on their face? Anyway, let's move on. Okay, so this next one, in terms of being well known and iconic, is probably like at the top of the list really. I'd have said so anyway. It's this that Angelina Jolie's character had in Wanted. If you did see that film, it was like this iconic scene that got shared around all over. You know, it was in fucking film magazines, all over the place. I can't remember when Wanted came out. I think it was like 2007 or something like that. But anyway, this tattoo and this style of tattoo have since been just copied into oblivion. Obviously, the style is a very traditional type of tattooing that a lot of people get. They'll go to like places like Thailand and stuff like that and get these like hand poked into them, sometimes with like machines and stuff too. But you know, it's quite traditionally done as hand poke, and it'll take hours and hours. And as far as I'm aware, I think Angelina Jolie like has this tiger tattoo is like real, and I think these are real. I don't know about these. I think some elements of this got added for the film, and all in all, it looks really cool. I can't go into what it all means because it's just unfortunately like a part of tattooing that I'm just not familiar with in terms of like the meaning. I know where it's from and that sort of thing, but I couldn't say what this means and what this means or this. In terms of being iconic though, it's like one of the best sort of tattoo representations on a film in terms of just the sheer volume of people that wanted these tattoos in these locations because of this film, and as an extension of that, because of Angelina Jolie having these tattoos in real life, or most of the tattoos in real life. But yeah, it's great, really. It was a cool film. It was stupid, but it was cool. And the tattoos work, obviously, because they're real anyway, most of them. So yeah, I'm not rating them, but that one gets like a solid, like, I don't know, 8 out of 10 or something, whatever that means. But yeah, let's swiftly move on from that one. Now, this final image is for sure one of the most iconic tattoos in a film that I've ever seen. It's a lot of people have seen the film. It's super, super popular. I think it probably depends on like when you were born and if you got into it at that time in your life. But in terms of like just being a tattoo that millions of people wanted back then, this one probably takes the cake as the top spot. It's George Clooney's iconic tribal in From Dusk Till Dawn. I do have to apologize about the quality of some of these images. It's just really hard to find still images from these films that have the exact angle that I'm looking for. But I've done the best I can. You can see what's going on anyway. But yeah, when this film came out, I can't remember exactly when it was, but it spawned just... I mean, tribal was already a thing, and it's always going to be a thing in some iteration. You know, it's coming back now in the form of, like, people calling it cyber sigilism, but it's just thin tribal. It goes in cycles, and this tattoo spawned so many people getting tribal going up your neck, and it went from neck right down the arm, and I don't think you saw this until the end of the film. All the way through the film, he had it up his neck, and you could see that, and people were like, yeah, man, that's fucking sick. And at the end, you know, you see him in this little waistcoat, and it just looks cool, doesn't it? Like, you know, I'm not big on tribal anymore, but it's always been around, and it's always going to be around, and on certain people, whether they're a fictional character or someone in real life, it just looks awesome. And this looks awesome. It looks really well done. Whoever airbrushed this or whatever onto his skin, they did a really good job. It looks like a real organic flowing tattoo, and it suits his character perfect. I actually got 2 tribals for my first ever tattoo, pretty much because of this film. I was going to get it all down my arm, but I was like 16 or something when I was going to get it, and my dad was like, maybe don't get your first tattoo on your full arm when you're only 16. because you might regret it. And I would have done, but I got them on my stomach anyway. I got some tribals that have since been covered, because, I'm not as cool as George Clooney's character in From Dusk Till Dawn, so I couldn't pull the tribal off, which I think is a big problem with it. Like, not this, but it's a big problem with tribal, is you have to suit it, and most people don't suit it. But there's examples like this where it just looks cool as fuck, and his character's cool, so it just goes. And it's in terms of like being an iconic tattoo, it's an absolute 10 out of 10, I'd say. And like I said, we're in the current cycle of tribal coming back in, so who knows, maybe people are going to start getting big thick tribal down their arm like this again. It's really it's easy to tattoo, but quite difficult to. Yeah, you have to have crisp outlines and solid black packing, which are quite hard to do if you're depending on the style of tattooing that you do already. Some people might struggle with tribal because it requires a lot if you're doing it properly. You want a nice flow, you want super crisp, sharp outlines, so the points really, really point rather than just being like a dull end. And then you want solid black saturation, which if you don't know what you're doing fully, are all quite hard to do. But yeah, 10 out of 10. That'll do for that one, I think. So yeah, those were some of my favorite iconic tattoos from movies. If you have any suggestions of things that you'd like me to talk about or review from games, films, music, musicians, anything like that, just let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It would help me out a lot. Thank you very much. See you later on.